Yeah, okay. All right. Officially good morning or good afternoon or good evening, whenever it is that you are watching this back. We have had so much going on behind the scenes with leaders on this team and people that have just been pouring in, y'all know us, you know this team. If you've been here for any amount of time, we are always trying to make things better, to improve what we have. And the last couple of weeks have really been about that, trying to go back to the basics, simplify stuff. I want y'all to be able to unmute during this to ask questions. If you're watching this back, message me anytime. Y'all know that. Drop stuff in the
Hey,
chat.
your shoes
Try to have
finally
that up
shipped.
too, so that we can make sure that we have people, answering questions and going through all the things, because this is for you. Every single thing that we do on this team is for the greater good. And I love that this team is so one plexus through and through. And whatever we do is because we want everybody to be able to rise up. So, all that to say, unmute, ask all the questions. I will give you a little disclaimer. If I move just right, I wins. So I am 99.9% sure that my tailbone or something in my butt, we're deeming this the Christmas that mom broke her butt. I am not moving really, really well quite yet. And certain movements just send shocks through my whole body. So if I cry out, nothing is biting me, nothing is attacking me. I just am still learning what I can and can't do. So, how many of y'all, let's just start here. I'm going to share my screen, and as I do, I want you to be really raw, vulnerable, and honest in the chat right now. What is one thing or two, that you feel like you struggle with in building your business in Plexus? I know what some of the leaders, when we came together and we really talked openly and honestly about this, what we felt like we, needed to improve on, things that we struggled with. And so I want to know what y'all are struggling with, what you feel like if you could change something tomorrow in your business that would help you go to the next level, what is that for you? We want to make sure that this is always about y'all, and that we're building this together and that we're rowing this together. And so if there's something that you're going through, we want to make sure that we're giving you the systems and that we're giving you the tools to really be able to build on this. So, Robin, I love number one, good morning. I love that you said that, closing the sale. So moving through, and being able to have people really see the benefit of ordering. Duplication, Karen, that's huge, right? We cannot have a successful business if we're not getting people to duplicate and to be able, and that's something that you're going to love this month. And what we're really going to kind of shift the focus to is being able to simplify that system. Messaging and reaching out to new people. Sam, we've got you covered. Keeping others consistent. I love that, Wendy. Struggling to get people interested to join a chat or a three-way call. Finding people to share and do this with. Okay, keep dropping them in. Not enough people to reach out to. Denise, we've got you covered too. So this is something that we're really diving into this year, really bringing it back to the simplification and the basics of our business. So if you guys want to screenshot this is something, let me see if I can minimize the chat. Okay. Who can y'all see this okay, where it just says systems and then the rock star? How many of y'all have ever, thank you, Karen. How many of y'all have ever prayed for a rock star? Drop a one in the chat. If you're just like, man, I just hope that somebody comes along and they're like me and they see the duplication, they see the benefit in this, and they just want to run with it. Um, I'm going to pop your bubble. Rock stars don't usually exist. Most people aren't like us, right? But if we go back to the beginning, we weren't rock stars either. I always remind myself when I started, and y'all have heard me say this 1,000 times, I told people not to message me. I was like, don't do it. I don't want anything to do with this. I quit the first time that I started. Rock stars aren't there at the beginning 99.9% of the time. Rock stars are built and born and poured into. Okay. And so that's what we really want to do. We have been preaching to y'all like find somebody and help them go gold. Well, finding somebody and helping them go gold, like that's 17 people on their team, right? That's a really that's something that actually is pretty hard to do. Most people can't go out and find 17 people by themselves, nor do we want them to. We have incredible systems on our team. We do. But how many of y'all, Wendy, I love that you just put that. It took me 2 years before I reached out to Bree to share. Because guess what? This is twofold. Number one, Wendy loved the products, had incredible success. It took her 2 years to share. I also never reached out to Wendy about sharing because
Mm.
I wasn't comfortable with it. And she was one of my best friends. And so I was just like, if she wants to, she'll ask me. When in reality, like that's the complete opposite. I should have been like, Wendy, I want you to do this with me. But I didn't have the belief from the beginning. And what I was taught was you just share the products. We didn't have all the systems that we have on our team. Okay, so we're really bringing this back to the basics for y'all. How many of y'all, completely be honest in this, drop a one in the chat again. If you have somebody that joins your team and then you're like, well, holy crap, what do I do next? And you go to the team page and you're like, maybe this is what I send, and maybe this is what I send, or no, maybe this is what I send. But I also don't want to ask in the chat because I feel like I should just know. Or I don't want to ask my upline because I feel like I should just know. I agree with you. I did an audit of our page, and it needs to be cleaned up. It just plain and simple. The systems that we have are incredible, but there's some like differing things that are in our team page on what we do and where we send it. And so um, that's coming. We have incredible systems, but we want to simplify it for you. Colleen, perfect way to explain it, right? Information overload. And when we get overwhelmed, what do? We shut down.
Bye.
Yeah, right, Karen. It's like, yep, I can't do it. I don't want to think about it. And what does our subconscious do then? We bring somebody else into our team. We know that it's incredible, but if we don't know what to do, it's like, well, I can't really help somebody else do it. Even if I want to help somebody else do it, I don't want to overwhelm them, so I'm just not going to do it. And so it's a trickle down effect. And what ends up happening is we have lots of y'all that really want to run with this, but you're seeing this up and down kind of ebb and flow, which is completely normal in any business. I've had lots of ebbs and flows. I've had lots of ups and downs. You're going to hit some ranks and fall back. But what we don't want for you to happen is for you to stay at this same space over and over again because you're bringing some people in, but as fast as you're bringing them in, you're losing them. And then you're just praying for that rock star. That's not going to get you the business that you want. And so I think the first thing that we have to do this year is really just have open communication about it, right? There's nothing wrong with finding fault in things if we are willing to work together. And we have to be able to be willing to row the boat in the same thing. And so no more praying. I mean, let's say it this way. Do I want you all to find a rock star? Do I want you all to find a you? Yes. But what I want more than that is for you to find people that want to do this and are going to grab their plus one. So I just want to remind you all of this. If you want to take a screenshot of this, this is something that we did talk a lot about at the beginning of the year last year. And you're going to see this over and over and over again. Success in your business is these 4 pillars, and it all starts with mindset. I am so big on mindset, right? You cannot have, and I firmly believe this. If your mindset is in the garbage and in the trash or in the gutter, however you want to say that, you're not going to bring people in that are next level. You're going to bring people in that are constantly complaining with you, always finding fault in stuff. I mean, I'm sitting on a broken butt. It sucks. 1000% it sucks. But even in that, I know that I can't let myself go to this like complaining space because I will stay there really quickly. And I know that about my personality. So anytime I start to feel down on myself, I remind myself, number one, it could have been much worse, right? And it could have happened anywhere or to anyone. This is just part of life. And so even in our business, right, you always have the decision. I tell my kids this all the time. Are you going to make a bad 5 minutes, a bad 5 days, a bad 5 months, a bad 5 years, or are you going to let it stay a bad 5 minutes? And that's what I want you to keep focusing in on. You're going to have people that quit in this. You're going to. However, if you're always doing the next best thing and you're bringing the energy and you're bringing the positive mindset, they're going to stick with you. And goes as simple as, oh, I don't like the taste of the pink drink. If somebody comes to you and says that, are you like, oh yeah, I know, it's terrible, but just get it in? Nah, nope, they're probably not going to because they don't have the same belief as you. They don't know where it's going to take them. Or are you helping them find solutions? So your business is these four things, always on the base of mindset. That's why it's the foundation of your house. But think of this as like a chair, right? If you don't have four legs on a chair, it's going to fall over. Or you're constantly going to be balancing it and you're never really going to be sitting in it. And that's not what you want. So it starts with recruiting. If you are not somebody that is bringing in 1 to 3 people every single month, emphasis on the 3, that's where you have to start. You need to be bringing in 3 people a month because one person is going to stay with you, one person is going to share, one person is going to fall off. If you only are bringing in one person every 6 months, y'all, I'm going to shoot it straight to you. You are not going to have a sustainable business. You have to be recruiting. And so I'm pointing that out to you because if you are not recruiting right now, you have to start there. That needs to be your first focus because if you're not recruiting, you can't retain, right? And if you can't retain, you can't duplicate. And if you can't duplicate, you can't have leadership. If you are bringing in 3 to 6 people a month, but you're not keeping them if they're never ordering a second time, then you have to focus on retention. If you're bringing them in and you're keeping them, but you're never getting a level 2, you have to focus in on duplication, right? Do y'all see? Can drop a 1 in the comments if this is making sense. Because this is the basis of your business. And every single thing that we're going to talk about afterwards builds on this. So whether you're brand new to this and you're like, oh my gosh, what is she talking about? That's fine. I want you to message me. We'll set up a coaching call. We'll go through this. But you have to be honest with yourself in this business, right? If you're bringing people in and you're like, but why is nobody just falling out of the sky and adding 20 people and going gold? That's not going to happen. It is up to us. And the systems and the things that y'all are, I tag them in our team page. I'll shout them out several times throughout this, that your senior gold leaders on this team and above have really been focusing in on, is using this as a basis to help us build. But again, you have to, this is the winning day worksheet, right? You have to be honest with yourself about which area you're struggling with and which area you need to tap into a little bit more. Okay. So 4 things for growth in the company. You can screenshot this too if you want to. This is how you know that you're growing. If you have new systems, new leaders, new products, new markets, this is Plexus as a whole. Plexus, we started talking about all the things that we wanted on our team. Plexus is simplifying things so much for us. I can't tell you everything right now. It's coming on Super Saturday, but what I will tell you is the things that we're doing on our team 1000% mirror what Plexus is doing because they came to us as diamonds and they're like, what do you want? Let's do it and let's run with it. The new leaders, that is up to you. Who are you bringing in? And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Sometimes you do have to kind of keep following up. You keep not begging people, but showing them the light. But if you have to tell somebody that they're going to get like a $50 discount to bring them into the products, probably not the person that you want to bring in, right? I always want to bring in people that are better than me, like that are really ready and hungry, that want change for their health, that want change in their business. Those leaders, that's up to you. New products, that's coming. New markets. Where are you reaching out to? So some of y'all, I'm going to call you out that said, I'm having trouble bringing people in and getting people to want to do this. Where are you reaching out? Nikki Metzler, I know she's on here. I'm going to shout her out over and over and over again. She was having trouble with this. We have been on a coaching call every single week together for years now. And one of the things that she was struggling with was, how do I reach out to new people? And so she didn't just keep complaining about it. She went out and did something about it. She started going to vendor events. She started hosting things at her house. Because once one person came and had fun, now those people are coming back and they're bringing people with her. You have to be willing to do the things that you are afraid of in this business. So whether that's going live or whether that's getting into your stories and talking, the thing, I've heard this over and over, and it is so true. The thing that you are avoiding is the thing that's going to lead you to the next level of growth. Karen, that's perfect. Getting out and meeting new people, going to the gym, belonging to something different. So drop in the chat right now. What's one thing that you're avoiding that you're going to be willing to do in the new year to be able to grow your market? Because that is a huge, huge piece of this. Vendor events. I love that, Colleen. Okay, I'm going to keep going while you guys are talking because we're already almost 20 minutes in. This is what we're going back to, y'all. Brilliant at the basics. Everybody gets a +1. How many of y'all have heard us talk about, you can drop a 1 in the comments, like help everybody get their 3 to 4 people. And so we mention, like, who are your 3 to 4 people that you do life with? And they're like, no, I don't know 3 to 4 people. We're going back to the basics. Every single person that we reach out to, that we share this with, is going to get a +1, and we're going to believe that everybody gets a +1. Y'all, everybody has a +1. They do. They really, really do. They have somebody that they do life with. They have a spouse, a best friend, a mom, a sister, an uncle, a mail lady, anybody. We have a +1. We're going brilliant at the basics, and we're going to help every single person get a +1. And you've heard me say this over and over again. You can screenshot this. This is going to be up in our team page. But once we've helped somebody get a +1, so Karen's on my screen right now. When Karen joined, I know that Ashley and Rhonda helped her with this. Who's the first person that you're going to get? Who are you going to help your first person so that you have the accountability? That's as simple as it is. You'll get $20 back in product credit. You'll get $37 back in cash if you want the cash option. But more than anything, I just want you to have the accountability. Who is that person for you? That's the only thing that you're focused on. Drop a 1 in the chat if you think that that seems attainable. Sally joins you and you're like, hey, who's your best friend? Who's your mom? Who's somebody that can do this with you so that you can have a little bit more success in this? They'll get to do the challenge group with you. They'll get the free reset, whatever it is that we've got going on right now. Then you'll be able to do that with them. That's the only thing that you're focusing on. Then this message comes into play. I'm so excited for you that you got blank started. They seem really excited about doing this. Now, guess what? If you had 2 other people do this with you, you actually get another $275. Something to think about. Is it something that you're interested in? I don't know anybody right now that doesn't want an extra $275. You're not talking about going silver. You're not talking about starting a business. There's none of that kind of lingo in there. They don't have to know the ins and the outs of the team page because you put them in a 3-way chat. But now you've gone from, hey, let's get your accountability, to them going silver without them even knowing. And here's the deal. We know statistics in the company. If you can get somebody on 3 products for 3 months, doing it with 3 people, because that pays for their products for the first couple of months, they will be here a year later. How many of us want everybody here with us a year later? Can you imagine if people aren't falling off? And not only are they not falling off, they're doing it with people. Y'all, that's an extra 21 points on your team from having one person start and grab 3 people without them even knowing it. Can you see, like, I know that I love math and numbers, but hearing that, like, that's your business exploding if you start doing that, if you're focusing in on those pillars. Okay. So here's what we're doing in our page. We're having a new format for our team chats. Our team page, like y'all said at the beginning, it's going to get cleaned up. Get ready for lots of notifications today. We're having a new schedule that's simplified, so you don't have to worry anymore about what day it is and where here's one of the things vulnerably I struggle with right now. My life is a little bit crazy. It looks very much different than when I first started this business. Colton, for example, just started wrestling last week on top of soccer. Riley's in 2 travel soccer leagues along with doing basketball. Brookie is my social butterfly and always doing something and starts travel softball after the new year. How many of y'all can relate with crazy, insane schedules, right? We all can because there's always something going on. I wake up on Thursdays sometimes and I'm like, holy man, it's Thursday. We should have a team chat tonight. And then it's like rush, 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 last minute, and there's no prep work involved in it. Can anybody relate to that? And then what do? We go to bed feeling bad because we haven't invited enough people. That stops now. So new schedule is coming, quarterly groups, and of course, focusing in on your goals. I'm going to run through this so that you guys kind of have an idea of what's going on. Team chats. I have this vision for 2025 where team chats are so effective, where you don't get off of work at the end of the day and feel completely overwhelmed because there's 100 plus. Like, anybody ever happen? I know that Baker and I talk about this often. Karen, I know for you too, when you're cleaning all day, you're working all day, you're doing something, and then you get in our team chat and there's 99 plus for your notifications, and you're like, checked out. Not happening. Team chats will be smaller because you're going to have to do certain things to get into the team chat, like watch this video, know what's going on, and utilize 3-way chats before the team chat. That is not to say that team chats are not going to have questions or not going to have support, but team chats are going to be specifically for IPA, what's going on, and being able to help each other, not simple questions. And does that make sense to everybody? If you're excited about that, drop a 2 in the chat, because I want the team chats to be utilized by people that are running, like that are really hungry for this business and want to go further. We will also have a rally chat. The rally chat is going to be strictly posting. Okay. So every single day in that rally chat, it's going to give people something to watch, something to post, and something to help with. There will be no commenting in that chat. Okay. So if you are struggling with a post idea, anybody in our team page can be in that chat. It's going to give them something to watch for the day so that they can grow. So we're going to have a couple of different ideas for that that's coming. I already kind of mentioned this team page is going to be very much cleaned up. You'll be able to go in there, you'll see what we need to do, a couple of graphics, and to be able to help so that it takes that overwhelm out. Because as much as we say like overwhelm is a choice, and it is, overwhelm is also very real because we're bombarded with so many things every single day. Okay. Here's the other thing that we're doing. We're cleaning up our calendar and our system. So what this is going to look like, we're still going to have Monday night events. Something different is coming for Thursday nights. You'll still have an option for every Thursday night to be able to invite people to, and we're going to dive into that more right after Super Saturday. But what we are going to do on our team is no longer having an event every single Thursday. So we're going to have an event week, like the second we'll have an event. The next week where that says IPA week, that stands for income or impact producing activities. We're going to spend an entire week as a team doing our winning day worksheets, reaching out to new people, following up with the ones that we have, helping them get their +1, And then we can invite them to the event the next week. So we'll have a week where we're fully focusing on inviting to the event, and then a week where we're fully focusing on new people. Because how many of us are inviting the same people over and over and over again to an event? Because we're not taking the time to really reach out. So that's going to get cleaned up too. Not an event every single week, but alternating back and forth. And that will always be available to you. Okay. Now, if you do find that you have a rock star on an IPA week and they really need a chat, we can host a chat, right? But as far as team events, they'll be every other week. Good? Okay. Here's the other thing that we're doing. So I don't know if y'all feel this way, but I know that we felt this way, was when we have a challenge every single month, it's like we're inviting to the next challenge halfway through the challenge that we're in, and it kills momentum. Anybody else agree with that? It's like, where are we inviting? What are we doing? I don't know. And so then what happens again? It's like, meh. Yeah, right, Karen? It's like we just don't do anything. And we're finding that our group engagement is way down. We're inviting people into these challenges and nobody's commenting or talking. And so that excitement isn't there. So we're going to move to quarterly challenge groups. What that will look like is we have a challenge group. We're going to announce it today. It's going to start January 6th. All of us on the whole team, we're rowing together. We have shout out graphics for our stories that are going to make it really easy for y'all to be able to plug and play. We're going to have a challenge group in January. We're going to use those results to help people get their +1 in February. And then in March, we're going to be building towards the challenge group that we're going to have in April. So we'll spend a month kind of going through everything, building up those people, keeping the excitement going after a challenge group. Then we'll take the next month to fully shift our focus back to the next challenge group, sharing, bringing people in, making sure that they get started with us. We'll have another challenge group in April. And we're just going to recycle this throughout the whole year. So we'll have 4 big challenge groups in the year, and we're going to build on that. Everybody good with that? Sounds much more doable than having a challenge group inviting to the next challenge group while we're still going. Okay. So challenge group in January is coming. I want to show y'all the power of this +1 just to really drive this home, because here's what here's what can happen when we're really focusing in on an IPA week, an event, and a challenge group. I can go to Nikki and I can say, hey, and this goes at any point in time. How many of y'all right now are like, oh, I wish I would have had this when so-and-so started. And now it's too late. My brain works that way. If you're thinking that, it is not too late. Your challenge from me right now is to go to every single person on your team and say, hey, we have this new challenge group starting in January. I'm going to go over it in just a second. I want you to do this with me, but I also want you to get your +1. Who can you do this with? Here's what ends up happening. Sally goes and does that with somebody. They get their +1. And this is going to be really, really important. You get them in 3-way chats. Hey, the same way that you just got your +1, let's help her get her +1. That's this person down here. Y'all, that's 15 extra points on your team right there because you've helped them each duplicate. Now, not every single person is going to do this, and not every single person is going to grab their other +2, right? Like we talked about, they grab their +1. You say, hey, 2 more people, it's $275. But when you do that effectively and you really focus in on those people, that's developing a senior silver on your team. Take your current pay points and add 53 to them. For so many of you, that's the next rank. And that's doing it with one person and focusing in on a +1. I want you right now, type this in the chat. I can do this. No more like, hey, you need to get your 17 people and go gold. You are helping every single person grab their best friend and do the January challenge. That will explode your team. It means you getting in three-way chats. It means you reaching out to your sponsor. And it means you getting out of a victim mentality. Like, I don't know how to do this. The team page is too overwhelming. Bree doesn't help me with this. Whatever the excuses are, we've all got them, right? But this is something that we want y'all to feel so, so empowered by. And here's something else to reach out with. Right now, already starting today for the end of the month. It's the last gift of the season sale Plexus is giving us. These products, so Hunger Control Slim, any flavor, Block Balance, MetaBurn, and Restore, they are up to 25% off. So you can go into the team or into your groups and your chats and your follow-up. These products are, it's automatic. They do not need a code, which means I hope your brains are already processing this. If they add Slim and MetaBurn, that's 100 PV or Slim and Block, Slim and Balance. If they're brand new, they can also get a free reset with this because the codes, you don't need multiple codes. It's already automatically on there, plus a $1 membership.
Bree,
Yep.
this is not a combo. They can do these separate with
Individually.
25% off. Awesome.
Yep. And this is every single current person on your team.
Okay.
Okay. So getting them to do the next challenge with us, and I'm going to talk about that right now. Slim plus any one of those 3 bottles is 100 PV, and it's a cheap option for them. And it's a simple routine, right? Slim in the morning or before any of your meals, MetaBurn at lunch. Block or Balance before any of your meals. Help people go back to the basics and the simplicity of this, but this starts now. Here's our challenge for January. Here's how it's going to look. It's going to be a $5 buy-in to help with that accountability, and that's going to be the grand prize cash pot. If you have somebody that's brand new or that's coming back, y'all, you can pay the $5 for them, okay? You make much more than that on their order. Do you have to? No, but that is an option for anybody. So if you had somebody that's brand new that starts, you get more than $30 back for them. You can pay that $5 for them to get in the group. However that looks for you, they can pay the $5. But it's going to start January 6th. January 6th week is going to be a reset week, which means all these people, I know Wendy has quite a few people that started this month or got a free reset and have not used it yet. So that's going to be the reset. They can pick 3 days anywhere between the 6th and the 12th to do their reset. We're going to be posting about the reset the 6th, 7th, and 8th. But if they want to start the 9th, 10th, 11th, perfect. Then the next 2 weeks, the 13th through the 31st, that's going to be our group. We're going to be posting. It's actually 3 weeks, but we're going to be posting. We'll have lots of stuff that are going in here. We're not going to be super specific about what they have to do other than they've got to do vitamins, 30 minutes of movement, and focus in on one healthy habit. Like Wendy is super excited about the protein, like getting so much protein in at every single meal. That is not going to be my focus. Right now, I'm really focused on moving and healing. It kind of put a little bit of a kibosh to my workouts. But they get to choose their focus. And then we're going to have a grand prize of a cash pot, or if they want a gift card, we can give it to them in a gift card too. Everybody on your team gets this. I'm going to put stories up. There's going to be posts in the team page. All of that is coming for you. Okay. So this is your first focus, getting them to get their +1. Finishing here. I don't know if Mina hopped on because I can't see everybody on the screen yet. I'm going to stop.
I'm here.
Oh, thank you, Mina. Okay. So Mina's a teacher by trade, but she is incredible at speaking and leading and just getting people into the depths of their soul on what they want and how, like, the motivation key is strong with her. And so she has volunteered to lead a book study. And total God moment. I did not know that this was a book that she was thinking of, But Saturday mornings, she had a couple of options picked out before I even started talking to her and to our leaders about the power of one. And when she came to me and she was like, "Hey, these are the two books that I'm thinking about." It like, I don't even remember the other book, honestly, because I saw her put in the power of one more. And I was like, that is exactly what we're talking about and focusing in on our team and the simplicity. So Saturday mornings, this book is really, really good. I've already got it and started going through it. We're going to do Saturday morning book studies. She's going to get us the all of the calendar. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, so that we know when we're meeting. I mean, we can dive into that for those of you that want next level leadership. Mina, do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, just so you have a couple weeks to get your book ordered and start reading the introduction in chapter 1, because we're going to start the Saturday after Super Saturday, because Super Saturday I will be up in Wellsboro, so I'm not going to be doing the Zoom then. So we're going to start that week right after, which is January 18th. And we're going to kick it off. And I'm going to have a calendar with all of the chapters, like what chapters we'll be doing each week. And we're just going to go steady, except we'll take a break during the cruise, because many of us will be on the cruise. But so introduction and chapter 1, and then it will be pretty much 2 chapters a week, which is really doable. It's on average 20 to 30 pages. If you have Audible, you can listen to it on Audible. I like to do both. I listen on Audible, and then I go back and I like to highlight and take notes in the margins of my book. So those are the options for you. And I'm really, really excited. So January 18th, we will kick that off right after Super Saturday, when we learn more about the power of one. And we're going to kick it off with Ed Milet and the power of one more.
Awesome.
If you have any questions, feel free to message me.
And we will have Zoom links, all of that stuff. That's one of the simplifications for our team. That stuff is there now in our team page, but I know that it's not always easy to find. We're going to have a welcome post. We have some incredible ideas for shout outs on our team page. All of that stuff is coming. Simplification at its core and back to the basics. The other thing that I'm strongly urging y'all to get is a planner. If you do not have a planner, you need one. It is essential to be able to mark things down. I am a big, like, my phone is my life because I work from it, but also because I'm a big digital calendar person. All of my kids' stuff goes in that digital calendar, games, practices, all the things. But I have to have a paper planner. I've never seen anybody that's run a successful business in Plexus that does not have a planner. I would love for somebody to prove me wrong in this. But you've got to have something where you can write things down, where you can go through after the team page or after our team Zooms and really have it in front of you. Like, I've already got all of our Zooms planned, nights, Monday nights, Thursday nights, all of that stuff goes in here. I can share a link with you. I know Baker has this planner too, and I just shared it with some of our other leaders. I love a good, here, actually, let me stop sharing. I love a good planner where I can write down every day. It's got like a to-do list, so I can do my follow-up there. So if I'm sharing with Sally, Sally's name goes in there. But it also gives me places where I can plan things each individual day. So there's a big month calendar, but then I can also go back. So this is the big month calendar, right? Like, I can see the month projection, but then I can go in daily and do my follow-up. So who I messaged that day will go in underneath of here. And the reason that I like this so much is there are so many times where a couple days later, I'm like, "Ooh, who did I talk to? And what did I do?" I just, I can't remember things, but I can flip back and I can say, "Oh, I messaged this person last Monday and I haven't messaged them again." And I can write it down. The other thing that's really nice about that is if I have somebody that orders on Monday, I can, while I'm working at my desk, I can write that down and I can skip ahead 3 or 4 days and I can write their name down again. So I know that I need to follow up with that person because that's when they probably should get their order. This stuff is all coming in trainings. So we're going to spend a lot of time in January really going through this stuff and helping y'all develop those systems and go through so that we can really launch strong for this year. Okay. Okay. I know that was a lot. It was 40 minutes. Yes, Wendy, I have been the same way, right? I love that she just put that. If you guys can't see the chat, that she starts strong with a planner and then it kind of trickles off. Y'all, that's what we are for, right? That's what a team chat. I tell my friends, I tell my kids this all the time. I think that we go through a point in our lives, all of us, where we want 100 likes and we want 100 people and we want, a huge, huge team, and we all do. But I would so much rather, and this is what I tell my kids, rather than having you have 100 friends or 100 pennies, I would rather have you have 4 quarters that are really quality to get to that. Like 4 really quality friends that stick with you for everything. I want you to have massive teams, but in team chats, instead of having 100 people that are just there to be there, I would rather have 4 people that really want to do this and want to run, because those 4 people are going to build each other up and do the things, right? And if that's 100 people that are really doing that, great. Okay. But that's where we're headed, is being able to hold each other accountable and drop winning day worksheets and ask the questions that are really important and then use the other things. Colleen, I will drop the link. I found one this morning that's really similar to this one. This exact one is not available anymore, but it looks exactly the same. But the link that I bought it from originally, it was on sale during Black Friday when I got it. But I will drop that in there for anybody that wants one like this. And here's what I will tell y'all too. What works for me, like this setup in the planner system might not work for you, and that's okay. Take some time to explore that. You're gonna have to adapt your own things. Like Mina, I'll use you as an example. If you saw Mina's planner, it's like next level. Like I mean, it really is, Mina. Own that. It's super impressive. Like different colors and different highlighters. And I mean, I'm like, it takes my brain and goes to like next level. But if I tried to be Mina, I would get so into like what color, anyway, I think y'all know what I'm saying. Find what works for you. Okay. But I will put that on there for everybody. Okay. I'm going to stop recording so that people can watch this back. But before I do, if you're here now, if you are watching this recording back, I am beyond pumped about this year. We will have new emeralds. It makes me emotional. We will have new jewels on this team. We'll have new gems, which is Ruby and Senior Ruby. We have people coming to this team, I'm fully believing it, that don't even know what Plexus is yet, that you guys will share with and that will be able to make the biggest impacts with you. And I want y'all to believe that too, because that's where it starts. It starts with the belief that every single one of you have the story to tell people, that every single one of you have the ability to bring people in and to run with them. And if you start with that belief and then you build on it, I 100% believe that anything can happen for y'all. We will not have our regular team Zoom on Monday night, the 30th. Plexus is doing something to kind of kick off for them the 30th at 9 p.m. So we're going to tune into that as a team. It's on the Plexus Ambassador community page. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, rather than us do something at 8:30 and then them do something at 9 and us be on for a full hour. We're just going to all tune in to that. So no regular team Zoom on Monday. We will tune in to the Plexus one. All right.